I think the cat is getting trained. She moved herself this morning. Let's go ahead and start with our toe lifts. So she's like, oh, it's about time. So she went ahead and got up on the radiator by herself. Good, 4, 3, heels up, right, then left. So I'm gonna do traditional strength training, or just some kind of strength training if you use a watch. We're gonna do a little bit more of isolation exercises today. We're gonna march, brace the core, start to lift those thighs parallel to the floor. So for today, when we do our exercises, you can go a little bit heavier because we're gonna do squats, rows. We're not gonna do a lot of compound stuff. Good, hamstring curls, tricep, press it back. So we've got 4 circuits. We have 3 exercises per circuit, 45 seconds work, 15 seconds rest. We're gonna do 2 rounds. Knees up, start to add a little rotation. If you wanna keep it stable, just take it up for a nice good march. But if you can add a little rotation, go for it. 4, 3, back to our curls. We're going to pull it back. So think about squeezing the shoulder blades. We're gonna drive the elbows back. We wanna make this as much of a back exercise as we can. 4, 3, we're gonna hinge, slow deadlift, feet hip width apart, hinge it forward, take it up tall. This is one of our exercises today. It's just a nice strict deadlift. Good, 1 more. We're gonna speed it up a little bit faster, so hinge and lift. I keep up with the music, you don't have to. Good, 4, 3, 2, we're gonna slow squat. So slow squat down, stand up nice and tall. Down, 2, up, 2. Think about sitting down into a chair, but you're talking to somebody and you wanna keep looking at them. You wanna look at least around their face, around their chest, not down at their knees or their shoes. Although if they have really nice shoes, you can look at their shoes. Good, 1 more. Let's hinge it forwards, open and close our book. So open and close. So just think about opening that shoulder back behind you. Other arm reaches down towards the floor. Good, 2. Bring it all the way up, palms up, reach it down, reach it up. So pull and reach. This is where we imagine our arms are against a wall. We're trying to open up that chest. 2, forward step and reach right here. So forward step, pull it back. We're gonna add a little bit of a rotation of those arms. So forward and pull, forward and pull. Side lunge, step it out, hold it here. Little inner thigh stretch. Here's 4, 3, 2, little different today. We're gonna slow it down and we're gonna take our shoulder to the side and then bring it up, take our shoulder to the side. Bring it up, couple more. So we're dropping that shoulder, switch sides, hold it in the center, cat-cow, inhale, exhale. So think about a little arch, little tuck. If you don't wanna arch, then I want you to just think about belly breathe. Breathe it in, exhale out. Good, in and out. Good, couple more. Last one. Take the hands down to the floor. We're gonna step it back into a plank. We're gonna hold this plank. We're gonna do down dog into a plank here. If you'd like to stay in an incline, please do. You're welcome to have your hands on the seat of a chair. You can have your hands on a wall or a countertop. So working on a little core, a little bit of shoulders, a little bit of hamstrings. Good, 1 more. Let's walk it all the way back up to standing. You can walk your hands back, it's completely up to you. All the way tall, back into the center. Last exercise, of course, we've got to do our bounces. And I didn't even think about it. For those of you that get my email, our challenge this week is a plank challenge where we're supposed to increase the amount of time we do a plank. I don't know if anybody's doing it, but you should. Good, 4, 3, march it out, shake it out, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Grab a quick drink of water. So say Monday you did a 1-minute plank. Tuesday, can you do a 1-minute 30-second plank? Or start out 30-second plank. Next day, can you do 45? Then can you do 60? So kind of think of it like a stack. It's a stack, you're adding on. All right, circuit number 1, we have 45 seconds of squats. Then we're gonna do 45 seconds of a rotating row right, 45 seconds of a rotating row left, and then we're going to repeat. We're doing isolation exercises today, which means bigger muscles. You can try going with a heavier weight. So we're just gonna do basic squats. No dumbbells, 1 dumbbell, 2 dumbbells, completely up to you. 45 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. So just nice and tall. We're just gonna squat. So sit down, stand up tall. So I've got slow squats down, so I want you to think about trying to go down, 2, up, 2. So down, down, up, up. Now you're slow, might be a little bit slower. This is the time where a good beat and a good beat per minute is really helpful. Down, down, lift, lift. Take your time. Think about hips back to your heels. Knees are staying about over your shoelaces. Now mine do go towards my toes, but I can still look down and see my big toe. Good, bring it in. Rotating row. Rotating row, what does that mean? We start palm facing in, we pull when we get to the top, we rotate, palm facing forwards. So we come down, and then we pull. Your time is on. So palm in, rotate, palm forwards. You're adding just a little bit of extra shoulder work here, little rotator cuff, but it's a good pull. Now we don't want to let the body get pulled down to the floor. We just kind of want to roll that shoulder in a little, add a little reach to the floor with our shoulder blade, and then pull back with our shoulder blade. So again, this is isolation, so we can focus on one muscle. Good, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. We're going to switch it over to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So palm in, rotate, palm forwards. I'm going a little heavier and I'm really focusing on my rotation. So again, we don't want to let the body rotate down towards the floor. You're thinking, wrap the shoulder blade around to the side of your torso and then pull it in towards the middle of your spine. So it's not a lot of shoulder up and down. Think about shoulder blade pinches or those scapular push-ups we do, where we pinch and we push. So it's a little bit of shoulder blade control, some of those little muscles on our back and around to the side. We've got 7 seconds. We're gonna go right back for squats. 3, 2, and 1. So 15 seconds rest, a little bit of a shakeout. We're gonna go back to squats, round number 2. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So I'm gonna take it down, down, up, up, down, and up. So I don't know how easy it is to see. My upper body really doesn't go anywhere. I just do that little hinge. So down, down, lift, lift. Sometimes what tends to happen is we go here and then we start to drop our torso down. Or we puff up our chest and we start to arch our low back and show off our buns. Little tuck, neutral spine. Down, down, push, push. 5 seconds. 2, and 1. A little bit of a rest. Adjust your dumbbells if you need to. We're gonna go back for that rotating row. This is one that if you've got a chair, I like to put my hand on the seat of the chair. I'm gonna hinge it forwards, palms facing in, pull, rotate, take it back. So just think pull, rotate, in, and in. So it's not a really, really big movement. We're just adding that little bit of a turn, really trying to think, almost like you're taking your thumb out to the side, still bringing the end of your dumbbell right towards the front of your hip. So let the dumbbell pull your shoulder blade forward just a little, then pull it to the back. We have 12 seconds. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, shake it out. We're gonna switch it over to the other side. So shoulders down, ribs tucked, and just a little bit of a hinge. And if you wanna keep it feet hip width, you can. This just gives me room. All right, let's bring it up and then take it forwards. So just a little rotation. And again, it's not big shoulders dropping way down to the floor. It's just almost like, hey, I want to stretch the muscle a little, and then I'm going to pull it back. So a little stretch, little turn. So stretch, and then strengthen. So we've got 15 seconds. We're gonna have a little rest, and we're gonna go back to, we're gonna go to circuit number 2. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, shake it out, walk around, grab a little drink of water. We're gonna move on circuit number 2. We're gonna do lunges right, lunges left, and then bicep curls. So we're gonna keep it nice and simple today. So for lunges, no dumbbells, 1 dumbbell, 2 dumbbells. We're gonna do all one side. So decide what feels good for you today. 45 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. So I'm just gonna step it back, lunge, and then stand tall. Now you can do, like I am, 1 dumbbell on each side. You can do 1 dumbbell on one side only. It's gonna get a little bit of core in there, and it's gonna work your legs a little bit differently. Or you can hold 1 dumbbell right at your chest. So step back, drop it down. When we do our lunge, we don't wanna push our knee forwards and tap the toe back. We wanna try to step back, drop the back knee towards the floor. It's okay if your lunge is here. I still feel my front leg doing most of the work. Here's 2 and 1. Little shake out. You're gonna do the same thing, switching over to the other side. If you've got to give your hands a break, you can set your dumbbells down for a minute. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we step it back, and then we stand tall. So front leg is doing 90+% of the work. Back leg is there for moral support and a little bit of balance and stability. So the nice thing about this, we go for time. Take your time. Don't have to speed through these, especially if you decided to go a little heavy today. If you did, kudos. If you didn't, that's okay. Maybe you were already lifting kind of heavy, or maybe your legs just don't feel great today. It's all good. We're here, we're moving, we're working out. Good, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. We have bicep curls. First round, I'm gonna do palms forward. Second round, I'm gonna do palms in. So grab your dumbbells, 3, 2, and 1. So bicep curls. I'm going heavy with my curls, so I'm gonna alternate. You are welcome to do both arms at the same time, especially if you're going a little bit lighter on your weights. So when they talk about volume, I'm doing heavy weights, lower reps, or you can go lighter weights and you're gonna do more reps. We'll have a similar volume. But for those curls, my elbow is right under my shoulder. I'm not letting it dig into my tummy or into my hips. And then I'm not bringing it up and then popping my arms forwards. We're giving our shoulders a break today, actually. Good, rest. A little bit of a shakeout. And then we're going to do lunges. We're gonna go back to that first side, first exercise. 4, 3, 2, and 1. This round, I am doing forward lunges. If you want to do forward lunges, great. If you want to keep doing reverse lunges, that's okay too. Same rules apply though. Front knee over your shoelaces, back knee drops down towards the floor. Front foot stays flat. Back heel is going to lift up. Sometimes our issue is we don't have that mobility in our big toe. So if anybody's got bunions, that's going to make it a little tricky for you. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Little rest. You can give your hands a break. Then we're going to switch over to the other leg. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So step it forward, push off, and come back. Drop down, and then lift. And again, you can step and do a little step. So I take my step, and then I really focus on what my back leg is doing. So step, back knee down. When you're ready, you can start to go a little bit deeper, a little bit farther. Does not have to be a huge step. A lot of times, just kind of a natural step forward is plenty. I do a little bit of a bigger step, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Short rest, going for biceps. Going for biceps. So again, I'm gonna do one arm at a time, heavier dumbbells. This time, hammer curls, 2 and 1. So this time, elbow pointing to the floor, thumb comes up to my shoulder. Nice, good reach. So there's nothing really wrong with adding in that extra little bit, but we want to focus on our biceps. Like I said, we've done a lot of shoulders this week. We're giving the shoulders a break. We're still going to get some shoulders when we do some of our other exercises, but we want to focus on biceps. So elbows down, thumb or end of the dumbbell to the front of your shoulder. Good squeeze. 10 seconds. We're going to rest. We're going to move on. Circuit number 3, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dumbbells down. A little bit of a shakeout. Walk around. Grab a drink. We're going to move on. Circuit number 3, we have deadlifts. Then we have tricep kickbacks. And then we do have a thumbs pointing up to the ceiling rear fly. So I'm absolutely going to have to lower my weights for those last couple exercises. I was hoping I could keep going with my 15s, but I can't. We're going to start with those deadlifts in 3, 2, and 1. So just a nice good deadlift. Shoulders down, ribs tucked, just like in the warm-up. Hinge and stand. So it's just a little bit of a reach forward, like you're going to set the dumbbells onto the floor right next to the side of your foot. So we don't want to take them out and set them out in front of our feet. Try to think you're picking them up right next to you. So parallel to the floor, parallel with your feet. 15 seconds. It's okay if your hinge is here. Maybe you're only getting about to your knees. If you're getting all the way to the floor, you might be collapsing and we're not keeping that tension on our hamstrings. Good job, bring it in. So we really want to think about time under tension. All right, tricep kickbacks. Good, 3, 2, 1. Hold that hinge forward, arms up, elbows pointing back behind you. And again, I'm going a little heavier, so I'm gonna alternate. And then I keep my pinky right next to the end of my dumbbell. So that allows me to think about using my hand to do the pushing, and it's gonna help me keep my wrist in a little bit more of a neutral position. Sometimes we do these, we take that arm back and then we cock our wrist back. We wanna try to keep that wrist nice and neutral. 10 seconds. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna bring it in. Thumbs up, rear fly. Thumbs up, rear fly. So that means palms facing forwards, shoulders down, hinge, and again, we're going to lift, lower, lift, lower. So think about your arm position, palms facing forwards, thumb is gonna lift up towards the ceiling. We don't wanna bring our arm up out to the front and do a Y. We wanna think letter T, letter T. If we're a little more upright and we're doing these, you're gonna end up getting front and middle shoulder. We really wanna try to focus on the back of the shoulder. So if you need to, one arm at a time, hand on a chair seat for support. Sometimes that just feels a little bit better on your back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring it in. We're gonna go back for our deadlifts. Back for deadlifts. So I can go heavier dumbbells here. I actually can probably graduate. 2 and 1. So hinge it forward. So hinge, 2, lift, 2. So I'm pretty sure I can graduate to 20s for this one. I'm just too chicken to do it. So hinge, hinge, lift, lift. And when you start lifting, when you start graduating to heavier weights, remember, you might not get the same number of reps that you were doing before. So now I can do the whole 45 seconds, no problem. But when I bump it up, I might struggle the last 10 or 15 seconds, and that's normal. When you go up in weights, your reps are gonna go down. 2 and 1. Bring it in. Tricep kickbacks. Tricep kickbacks. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So shoulders down, bring it up in the center. We're gonna kick it back and in, back and in. So shoulders down, away from the ears. Now if you've got lighter weights, but you're thinking, I wanna make this a little bit harder, make your range of motion a little bit smaller. Come to your hip, then go right back out again. You're gonna keep the muscle under tension for a longer period of time. It's a way to progress if you're not able to go to the next set of weights yet. So instead of coming back and all the way up to your shoulder, stop at the halfway point right at your hips. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, shake it out. Roll the shoulders a little bit. This is why we're not doing shoulders today. We're gonna get plenty of shoulders already. Shoulders down, hinge it forwards, palms facing forwards, right here. So lift and down, lift and down. So we wanna try to get that good forward fold, hinge it back, and if you really need to, you can absolutely rest your buns on a wall. So you can have your hips backed into that wall, resting with a good forward fold. Gonna take a little pressure off of you. We should be feeling back of the shoulder. I'm using 5s, and that is plenty for me. My posterior chain, my shoulders are not great. So light weights, don't have to go heavy. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. Shake it out. Walk around. You're gonna grab a quick drink of water. We're gonna head down to the floor. As always, if you don't wanna go to the floor, you don't have to. We're gonna do chest presses, pullovers, and planks. If you're staying standing, banded chest press or incline push-up, something to work your chest. Banded chest press, incline push-up are your two best bets. Instead of pullovers, You're gonna do a straight arm press back, focusing on trying to use these muscles right in here around your shoulder blade. Last exercise, planks. You can do an incline plank. You can do weighted marches. So you can choose either of those two options. We're focusing on core stability there. And this is where we're getting more of our shoulders for today. So let's go ahead and take it down to the floor. And we're just gonna start with the basic chest press. If you wanna add a little extra like a bridge or something, you can, but I'm focusing on strength today. I'm focusing on heavier weights. So I'm focusing on good technique and not adding in a lot of extras. But chest presses, 45 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. So this is where we just grab those dumbbells, bring it up, and we just push it up to the ceiling and back down. A neutral position for your shoulders is palms facing in. Upper arm comes right down to your side. So my upper arm actually kind of brushes my torso a little bit. This is gonna get you a little more tricep, so just keep that in mind. Or open up at just a little bit of an angle. Our wrist still stays in line with our elbow. So when we come down and up, we don't wanna bring the end of the dumbbell to our chest and then straighten. Elbows down, wrist in line with your elbow all the time. So the end of your dumbbell, your knuckles are always pushing up towards the ceiling. Good job. Short rest. Carefully set a dumbbell down. I'm gonna use one dumbbell, hold it on the ends. Low back pulled into the floor. Arms up over my chest, soft elbow. Tuck your ribs, lower the dumbbell overhead towards the floor, and then come right back up over your chest. Our elbows are soft. They're just not perfectly locked out. They're just a little bit soft. And we're moving from our shoulders. So this is just like when we go overhead and do a little bit of a swing. So if you struggle with going overhead, you're gonna struggle getting your dumbbell close to the floor, and that's okay. We just wanna go until we feel a little stretch, and then we come right back up over our chest. If you're standing, just do those straight arm press backs. And think about shoulder blades down and back. So it's kind of a pull and a squeeze. Good job, bring it in, dumbbell down, flipping over for planks. If you're on the floor and you don't want to do planks, you can do dead bugs. You're golden. If you're standing, weighted march or incline plank, 2 and 1. So your first option, right here, knee plank. Shoulders over elbows over wrists. Or if you want to be on your forearms and you want to be in a low plank, shoulder over elbows. You can have those knees a little bit back, so it's not going to be a perfectly straight line. We don't want to drop our hips to the floor. We're going to lift them up a little bit. If you want to make this a little bit harder, tuck your toes under, lift your knees off the floor. So notice nothing changes between a knee plank and a toe plank except for where my knees are. Now you can do knee plank and then toe plank and switch between the two. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Carefully bring the knees down, flipping it back over. Set number 2, chest presses. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So remember, if you're standing, banded chest press is amazing. Take the band behind you, and you're just gonna push forwards. I take the band underneath my arms, otherwise it rubs. And sometimes you can actually have the band kind of roll up your back and it does not feel good. So if you're doing the banded press, I take it under my arms. You might have to grab closer to your chest. If you just hold onto the handles, it's usually not tight enough. But it's all about a good push. Use the chest. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna set one dumbbell down. Now you can do this exercise with 2 dumbbells, 1 in each arm. For convenience sake, I'm just doing 1 dumbbell, soft elbows. Here we go. So slowly lower towards the floor and then right back over your chest. You're gonna feel a little stretch under the arms. And we want to keep our ribs tucked under and our low back close to the floor. A lot of times if we're tight in the shoulders, we take that dumbbell, reach towards the floor, and our ribs are going to flare because we're tight in our shoulders. So pull the ribs down, keep them close, go until you feel a stretch, and then come right back up again. Less than 15 seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Good, bring it in. We're gonna go for our plank or weighted march if you're on your back. Dead bugs are fine. Just something to work on some good core stability here today. 2, and 1. So we're gonna lift it up into that plank. So this is our, if you're doing the plank with me, that plank challenge for this week. If you can hold it for the entire time, you are doing 45 seconds. Now remember, if you're doing the challenge, or if you're starting to work on your planks, we haven't done these for a while, you can do 10 or 15 seconds of planks and then rest, and then do 10 or 15 more and rest, and then 10 or 15 more and rest. You don't have to start out with 30 seconds or a minute. You can always start with a shorter time, rest, and then try again. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully set the knees down. If you want to sit back into a child's pose to stretch, you can. So I'm going to keep my head lifted a little bit, and I'm not going to stretch too far. I don't want to put too much compression on my abs. I'm going to focus on breathing, just a little stretch. And then this is your time to put some equipment away, grab a quick drink if you need it. If you're on the floor, you can hang out on the floor. If you're standing, you can walk around a little bit. If you're on the floor but you're going to come to standing, remember to give yourself a minute. Let that blood flow figure out where it's supposed to go. Because some days it's fine, and some days your body's like, yeah. And it can also make a difference if you're a little bit dehydrated, which a lot of people tend to be in the mornings. So if anybody's looking to start a new habit, drinking a big glass of water right away in the morning is a good one to start with. All right, we're gonna start on our backs today. And you can do this standing, you can do this sitting, it's just gonna be a little different. We're gonna take that left leg out, pull your right knee into your chest. And again, sitting or standing, if you need to, you can have your back or a hand against the wall for support if you're standing. Now we're gonna switch sides. Press that right leg out. Try to keep your leg as close to the floor as you can get. Pull in on your left leg, and it can be in front of the knee or behind the thigh. But when you pull in on that leg, don't let the straight leg pop up. We wanna keep that leg straight. Now we're gonna alternate, so we're gonna pull it in, switch and pull it in. So as we're pulling the one knee in, we still wanna focus on pressing the other leg out. If you're standing or sitting, you can do the same thing. You're just gonna kind of march it. Pull it in and march, pull it in and march. Here's 2 and 1. Let's take our left leg straight, or it can have a bent knee with your foot on the floor. Right knee is right in line with your hip. Flex your foot. We're going to straighten and bend your knee. So we're doing a little bit of a hamstring stretch here. For a lot of people, the straight leg is going to be harder. And if you're really struggling, make sure that the knee isn't pulling in towards your chest. Try to keep it right in line with your hip. Good, let's relax that knee, circle your ankle, and then change direction. Let's switch sides. So right leg down, left leg is up, knees in line with your hip, flex your foot, straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. If you're standing, you're gonna have that thigh parallel to the floor or as close as you can get. If you're sitting, you can just straighten and bend. Go straight and lower. I'm doing a couple extra on this side. Couple more, lift and lower, lift. Let's relax that knee, circle your ankle going one direction, and then let's go the other direction. Bring it in. We're gonna take both feet flat on the floor. Squeeze your knees together. Take your arms out to the side, palms facing up, letter T. We're gonna take both knees over to the right, and then bring it up and take both knees over to the left. Try to keep, for today, we're gonna try to keep our shoulders glued to the floor. Your knees probably aren't gonna touch, and that's okay. So we just kind of want to do a wiggle side to side. It can be a little wiggle. It can just be a little bit of a side to side. Does not have to be big. And you might find that one side is pretty good and the other side not so much. Good. Here's 2 and 1. Bring it into the center. We're going to come to a hands and knees position. How you get there is up to you. I'm just going to do a little rock up and flip over. You can just roll over. So we're going to tuck the toes under, sit the hips back towards the heels, and then reach. So option 1 is a child's pose. I still am not rounding my back like you traditionally would for a child's pose. I'm trying to keep my spine neutral. If you have the mobility and you feel comfortable, I'm actually going to walk my hands out, lift my hips away from my heels, and then I'm going to still try to drop my forehead and my arms to the floor. So this is a variation, kind of like puppy. Some people struggle with this one, and if that's the case, just sit back into your child's pose. This is a little bit more low back and a little bit more upper arm that not everybody feels comfortable doing, but it's an option for some of you. Let's bring it back up, full hands and knees. And we're just gonna do a couple of cat-cows. So we're just gonna inhale, and then we're gonna exhale. And again, if you don't wanna arch and round, that's perfectly fine. Then just belly breathe. Good, one more time. So in and out. Let's bring it up. Walk your hips back towards your heels. We're going to come to a kneeling position, and then we're going to step it forward into a half kneeling position. We're going to tuck our tail, squeeze our glute, and we're just going to do a little bit of a forward and back push. If you're not comfortable being on your knees today, come to a standing position. You'll be in a lunge position. And you can even stand and have this foot by the side of a chair and then have your hands on the actual chair back or the chair seat and do a forward and back press that way. Good, bring it in, switch it over to the other side. I'm gonna turn and face front. Half kneeling, tuck your tail, squeeze your glute, and then just a little push forward, little push back. We wanna keep the tuck and the squeeze. That's going to help us stabilize our spine and not arch our low back, and then it's gonna help us push that hip forwards. And this is where we wanna get that stretch, is right in that front hip. Good, one more. Bring it in. We're going to take that front leg, pull it back just a little bit, and we're going to come up to a standing position, if you aren't already. So we're just going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down into our back pocket. Now we're going to flex our hands, straighten the elbows, and do our shoulder rolls. So think about just moving the ball in the socket, change direction. And let's take those arms out to the side, reach the fingers back, set the shoulder blades, and then we're gonna wash the walls of the hallway. My room is small enough. I'm so close to just being able to do it. Good, change direction. Let's release, arms down, ear to shoulder, 4, 3, 2, 1. Head is up, look to one side, 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it in the center, big breath in, spread your fingers, spread your toes, and exhale. Good, one more time, big breath in, and out, and you are all done.